my brother Tanner. He's not a big into the social media type of stuff, but he has got a presence on 21 South. He has been there quite a few times with some pretty heavy inch whitetails in his hands. So this is my brother, Tanner Lee Duncan Smith. We have 4 middle names. We're all Duncans. So.
Yeah, we got a mouthful there. Yeah, you kind of get tired of signing your name at the bank. That is for sure.
Well, like we told y'all the other day, we want to have fun. We want to talk about hunting and life and everything that comes with it. But our main purpose behind 21 Roots is to share the gospel. And Tanner's got a message for us today. But before we dive into that, we want to talk a little hunting. Everybody likes to hear it and planning and all that sort of stuff. And
you have to stop me because we'll get to talking. The next thing, our 25, 30 minutes are gone.
Yeah. Well, we started pretty early this year. Mm-hmm. I mean, we typically are about like average folks around this part of the world. July, August, we start trying to bait and start getting things ready, trying to find a deer. Coming with the last 3 years, we've had velvet season. But this year, we dove in a little bit early. I think I started stuff in April or May, very early on. One of my spots, which is south of here in the place called Pachuta. I shot a deer there last year, shot him high shoulder at 45 yards. He got away, all that, the sob story that just kind of comes every once in a while. But I put a feeder in there. He showed up early. It ran out of feed. I didn't go back down there for probably a month and a half or so. Then we went back down there, and I filled it up, got it turned on where it was working right. We didn't have the power cord or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And pigs. The first year we had that place, there was a few pigs in there, 2 or 3. They showed up about once a month. But pigs.
Pigs. That's kind of
we could dig deep into that, but pigs. They're everywhere. I went down there probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I shot 3 of them, got 3 of them out of there, and that group has been gone since then, but this week.
They come back, didn't they? I saw on the cameras they was...
She's back. Old big dummy. She's back. So we may have to plan another trip down there.
I want to be up to bat this time.
Yeah, Tanner can have this next go around.
Yeah.
But other than putting out corn and that type of stuff, we've done a lot. We've done. I'll let you tell a little bit of what we've done.
Yeah, man, we've done mulching. We've sprayed it. We've never done that. I mean, we sprayed every road, every deer patch. We just gonna kill it to the ground because it just works out. We've done a few patches in the past, and you be coming in there to bush hog and plow, and it just takes so much. I mean, you go in there with a disc right after you sprayed, it's perfect. Like once, maybe twice, throw your seed out.
You hit that mid-July. By the time late September gets here, it's
we just kind of, we hitting it good this year. So I'm excited to see fruits of our labor, and we'll get into that more here in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I said in the last podcast, I've been praying over my food plots, and I don't say that just like figuratively. Like I have literally been standing in my food plots praying, God, please, we always travel. We're always all over the place, and we're still going to travel.
Yeah.
But I want to bring things home. I mean, we can go to other places and kill these deer on outfitters or public land or lease land or whatever you want, but to do it at home. And I keep saying, God, if you can feed the 5,000 with a little bit of bread and a little bit of fish with a little bitty fella who had enough faith to say, here's mine. Lord, I'm asking God, here it is. I'm laying it out before you. Please bless it. And I believe you will. I just the crazy things that has happened over this past year, and just when it don't rain anywhere, it's raining in my food plots. Some places when it's dry as a bone, a small shower will come through and it will rain so much that my peas are literally dying. They're washed over. They're it's like a flood has come through. It's pretty insane to see that stuff.
I mean, prayer works everywhere else. We pray for everything else in our life, and it ain't like something that we're going to use God, but we want God to be a part of everything we do.
Absolutely.
So why not bring Him in your food plots with you?
Yeah. Lord, I know there ain't a 110 here, but if you'll send me a 111 and 6/8, I promise.
Oh my gracious! I want a 7-year-old spike.
I'm
I would be
same way.
so excited about that.
Yeah, anything, Lord, we'll give you the glory for it. You just send him my way.
Absolutely.
Well, still talking about some home stuff. We have a lot of these peas and a lot of this effort and spraying and stuff that we have done on our home place here. We call it the back pasture because it is behind the house. Mm-hmm. And, well, that place has always been a place that you could just go to and you're like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, you could have cell cameras out there on 36 angles on it, and you have like 4 deer over the last 7 days.
Just a vibe.
And it's just like, it don't matter what the camera says. You're just like, oh, it's gonna happen. Today's the day. And a couple years ago, we really invested in it. We planted peas. We planted all kind of different like kale.
Do you ever do like the baseball
turnips.
field? Right
Did
in front
like a
of it?
baseball field, turnip patch. Me and Peyton McGee went down there one time and saw like 15 or 16 deer, which was insane because I haven't seen more than about 3 in about 7 days in about 10 years at a time. So it's been pretty dead, but last year it started to come alive again. We kind of started feeding early. We never let the feeders out. We kept, we planted. We didn't plant a lot, but I think we planted that one.
Well,
food
we
plot
had
back
multiple feeders that we kept full.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was anywhere they wanted to go on the place, it was a feeder.
Right, and a lot of it had to do with neighboring properties were starting to cut timber, and they were pushing deer out. Deer were showing up, but I feel like we had done enough through last season, leading into this summer, over the summer, going into this new season that maybe we've held some of these deer. Maybe these deer will remember, hey, that wasn't a bad place when I got pushed out of home last year. So we're kind of hoping for that. But there was one deer in particular. He was a 3 or 4 year old 10-point.
Yeah, and when he looked at the camera, I'd put the camera in a ditch. We got a picture of him here or there.
It's actually a creek.
Yeah, it was a creek, but they was hammering this. It was like a little bend, a little sandbar was in it, and there was this deer coming across it. I'd run across it, and I put a mulcher camera on it, just kind of looking high. It ended up getting washed away because it flooded pretty bad, but I thought I was high enough. But lasted most of the season. He was crossing right there, and man, when he turned to that camera, I mean, he's every bit of 18 plus.
Yeah.
That's a 3.5-year-old, so.
So we're kind of in that, would you hear people say, deer kind of follow history. Deer will repeat themselves. I mean, and I living proof of that was Split Brow over there at that driveway place.
That was crazy.
From 2 years old to 4 years old, almost to the date, he would show up there every single year. And he vanished. I had him alive in 23, the last week of season, and he just disappeared. I ain't had him since. I guess he made it to the last end and somebody pulled the trigger on him, but maybe he'll show back up as a 6 or 7 year old and be pretty neat.
You would
but
know him.
I'm pretty confident that y'all will be able to hear a story about this 10-point back here if he made it. Talking about, like I said, deer repeating history. Because it was not a feed related phenomenon. He was there. It wasn't food plots. This deer was just traveling. He was just there. You wouldn't really get him at a feeder. I mean, every once in a while, we probably had 4 pictures of him at a feeder over.
It wasn't much. You see in the background coming by. He was never at the feeder.
He wasn't a homebody, but man, he was there. And
if Carson wouldn't have, we was trying to get a deer for Carson, and if we wasn't chasing that so hard, and he would have been mature, we could have killed this deer. I mean, he was that predictable.
It was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. The cameras were definitely doing their jobs.
For sure. And talking about that 10-point, I'm pretty excited about this year about how we're going to lay the back pasture out. We got the obviously we got to shoot how we can get in, but I'm not much of a gun hunter. If it comes down to it, then I will. But I'm excited about how we're going to block this place up because the way we've been having it's just big wide open. 15, maybe 17 acre field. He can come up to it and he can just look through the privet hedge and just see the whole field.
Yep.
He can walk around it. You may catch him at that 180 yard mark just shooting by. But we're gonna divide it up. What did you plant?
Shield.
We plant some shield. It's was it 4 or 5 foot now? I mean,
it's growing.
It's growing. So and we're gonna divide it up around the edges and we're gonna cross it up and we're gonna plant. I mean, I know we're going to plant oats in one spot. I'm sure we're going to plant turnips and rape in one spot, and then we may put up brassica or something. May just put some ryegrass.
We got the clover patch.
And we got the clover patch, but it's all going to be divided.
Yeah.
So he has to come in the patch to see it.
He does. He has to come out, and not only is it divided like around the edge and split in the field, like each individual patch is surrounded with this shield. So we're trying to break things up. Like you said, you may not can beat his nose. Mm-hmm. You may not can beat a lot of his senses, but you're at least altering his eyesight.
Yeah, limiting what he can see.
You're limiting what he can see. So he may can work that patch and smell it.
Yeah. But if he smells something, he got to come look at it if he's going to see it. I'm excited to see the different things we plant and see what the deer like.
Yeah.
Like literally there's 4 different patches here, and they're in this one.
It's
which
definitely
one they
a
come
testing
to?
ground.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
So I hope we can, pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, and if we could just get some rain. I mean, every last few years, the dadgum fall has been so dry. Last year, I don't know that we even planted anything that was not here. We planted the local stuff at our place over at Horseshoe. We
didn't even try.
Well, I guess you and Daddy may have, didn't you?
We did plant. One thing we planted here, I think, was opposite.
Yeah, it may have been opposite. I know that I went down there and planted my little secret spot in the back corner of the place, but
Yeah, it just, I don't know, it was the end of October before it even rained. I mean, deer season's been going a month, and we was already feeding them in the feeders, and let's just keep going with this. We planted some summer stuff, so.
made up for it, maybe, possibly. I
Think
don't
so.
know. Well, Tanner, you know the main purpose here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of ready to dive in it, if I'm
dive
being
into
honest.
it. Let's dive into it. Well, look, we're going to be in Jeremiah. That's where we're going to be today. Jeremiah 29. Some of you know the verse, Jeremiah 29:11. I'm not going to read it quite yet because we'll get to it in a minute. I want to have just a little bit of back history of kind of where the verse came from and why God is saying what He's saying here. We're going to back up to verse 4, Jeremiah 29. It goes, "Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, to all the exiles whom I have sent into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon." This is God speaking. He is saying to them, He says, "Build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat their produce. Take wives and become the fathers of sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons and your daughters become fathers of sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and you give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, and multiply there, and do not decrease. Seek the welfare of the city, where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf. For in its welfare you will have welfare." God's people here, they are in exile. They are in captivity with Nebuchadnezzar and with the Babylonians, and they're in a bad place right now. They are feeling like they have been abandoned by God. They don't know which way to turn. They don't know what's going on right now. And they have a prophet, Jeremiah, God has spoken to and said, "Hey, you take this message to them and you tell them this, okay?" God wants to put a fire under His people here. And what He's doing, and I don't want y'all to miss this, is when He says build houses. Who would not want to build a house and not want to live in it? Who would not want to plant a garden and not expect to get something out of that? I mean, I would. Who would not, in the way God has set up a marriage, not want to get married to a husband or to a wife and not want to have children? I mean, when I got married, I wanted to have children. Maybe not immediately, but that's a desire of mine. And God's blessed me so much. And He says right here, seek the welfare of the city. Like, hey, invest. Spend money wisely. I mean, invest in your city right there is what He's saying. He wants His people to be very vibrant and a flowing river. He does not want them to be stagnant water at all. I mean, tell me, me and you was up there in Montana. I can remember that one when I was washing my hands in that river. That river, you almost wanted to lay down in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just appealing. It was just, you just wanted to, you was drawn to it, I didn't say I would necessarily drink out of it, but it's way more appealing than a stagnant mud hole down here behind the house that's got a red film on it and got the little mosquitoes growing in it. I would much rather drink out of that water than that water back here.
A little bit of living water up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's more appealing to me. And God did not want His people to be stagnant. And when have given up on life and they're not doing these things, that's why He sent Jeremiah with this message. Hey, there's purpose in life. There's hope. Jeremiah 29:11, you all know it when I read it. "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope." That is from God Himself. He spoke to these people. He said, I have plans for you. I have a future for you. I have a hope for you. I don't want you to just waste away. And that's not what He's wanting from me and you either. This promise is just as much true for them as it is us today.
Very much so.
I mean, He's telling us that today. He's got plans for each one of us. So I have a question for you. What are you planning? What does your future look like? What are you? God's got a plan for your future. I mean, you said it today. Faith without works is worthless, pretty much.
It's dead in the water.
I mean, you're dead in the water. I mean, what are you doing on your side of things to plan for your life when God Himself says, "Hey, I have a plan for you"? Well, let me change the word just a little bit. What are you planning? Planting.
Yeah.
What are you planning? We're going to dive on that just a little bit. So it's August 2nd, second week of August, excuse me. And summer plots is up. Summer and peas are doing good, besides the ones the deers have literally eradicated. I mean, there's a couple little strips that are gone. For sure, but we're sitting here. We done talked about it. We got food plots ready to go. We got trails cleaned. We got stuff sprayed. We got seed ordered.
Stands moved.
We got a couple stands moved. We got some trees picked out to put our mobile sets in. I mean, we're ready for velvet season. We're planning, okay? We are ready for that special day in September when the weather's right and you feel that cool air just a little bit and the rain's coming in. Hey, we get seed in the ground. Yep. That's what we're waiting on right now. Besides velvet season, as far as the planning side of things. So, if we're planning on that, if we're planning for our deer season future, why are we not doing that for our lives?
Right.
Why are we not looking at ourselves daily and going, what are you planning? What are you planning in your life for tomorrow, for tonight, for the future? I mean, there's not a day that goes by. I know what I'm doing next Thursday. Yeah. I mean, you don't know what you're doing next Thursday. I know you very well. I mean, we're lucky for tonight. I mean, I told you I was coming to do this. Only reason you do this, but you're not that bad. But I plan way ahead. That's just my nature to do that.
Well, I'm kind of one of those guys that the Lord says, don't worry about tomorrow. Today has enough problems of it own.
There's a happy medium right there, I think, Toby. You got that guy, and then you got me.
Well, I think it's with you're planning more of a business related.
Yeah.
Just here.
Yeah, there's plenty of evil, and then sometimes that evil of next Thursday piles into this Thursday, and it's something I have to deal with at times. So you got to kind of pull back. But yeah, it's that planning, and that planting needs to be a daily thing, Dean. It's just kind of something we got to do, and we got to have a goal in mind. You got to have what's the end results? What are you looking for when it's all said and done? What do you want?
Yeah. What
do you want out of God? And I have a little simple, silly analogy right here that just a goal as a man. And there's not a man that would be listening to this right now that would not want to feel and look physically stronger.
Right.
I mean, I don't have time for that, but I put a little time into it because I don't want to be a beanpole. But my point I'm trying to say is you don't just wake up tomorrow like Tobey Maguire did from when not Spider-Man one day, you're Spider-Man the day. It don't happen like that.
Right.
It takes planning. It takes planning. And when I mean planning in that, there's three things that the Lord just give me and that about that. If we're gonna plant some seeds, if you want the goal of feeling and looking stronger, well, you got to be disciplined. You got to be dedicated, and you have to have discernment. I mean, you got to be disciplined. Hey, I got to get up. I mean, that's the number one thing. You can't sleep around and be lazy.
It's kind of like me on an off day with chickens. It's like,
yeah. But yeah, you got to be disciplined. You got to get up. You got to be dedicated. It's something that you have to dedicate yourself to, and you got to have discernment. Enough's enough. I mean, like your body can't work out with so much. Your body can't eat with so much. You got to have some common sense there, and hey, that's enough. The same thing. It's the same for the goal as a Christian. A Christian wanting to walk by faith and wanting to live a life that is guilty of loving Jesus. I mean, I would love to be guilty of that. I hope I am. The goal is the same for a Christian. I mean, we have got to wake up and we have to understand that if we're wanting to walk by faith and if we are wanting to live a life that is guilty of loving Jesus, then we have to have the same goals. We have to start planting seeds of my own. God gives us those seeds. Did you know that? God gives us seeds to plant in our life that will give us the fruit that we need. And that we're going to flip over right now to Galatians 5:22 and 23.
Go eat popcorn.
That's
if
it.
Anybody ever
My
wonders.
mom. Remember Mom? She was our Sunday school teacher. I think she was everything to us, but as far as teacher. But that's
Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians.
Mm-hmm.
Go eat popcorn. If you ever kind of wonder
that's where it's at.
where it is.
Learned that.
Galatians what now?
5:22 23. And so we've got to plant the seed that God gives us to become that vibrant, flowing Christian. So here they are. But the fruit of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against all things there is no law. Well, those aren't seeds right there. That's fruit. Is it not? Well, what does fruit come from? I mean, do you know a fruit that you don't plant a seed? I mean, not many. I mean, most fruits, you have a seed that you plant. So if you're going to plant seeds, I mean, I plant a peach seed. Am I eating a peach tomorrow? No. This hit me today so hard that the seed of love and the seed of joy and peace, and I ain't going to read them all, but I want to be patient. But I say, God, I want to be patient. Here's my seed. I'm going to plant it. I don't wake up tomorrow and I'm patient. It has to grow, and it has to mature, and it has to, it has to have time to grow it. And you gotta cultivate it and fertilize it and take care of it and keep the deer off of it. And we gotta keep the bugs and the disease. It's a lot of the things against you when you're planting these powerful seeds. But these fruits of the Spirit are something that's going to grow inside of you. So you got to start planting these seeds. And, hey, God, this is what I want. Plant that seed. Cultivate that ground. Put that seed in the ground. And another thing that was so good to me that I really loved is that just like some of these peas, I think you planted chicory 3 times before it come up.
Yeah.
Hey, you may plant a seed and it don't grow and it don't move. And it's more than likely, just about guaranteed, it's you. It's me. It's my fault. I didn't water it. Yeah. I dropped it and neglected it and forgot it was there and did my own thing in life. And then realized, hey, why am I getting so ill about this? Why is this bothering me so bad? Why did I pop off to Carol like that? I mean, why did I, and you think, well, I sure did I water them first last week? No, I didn't water it. I didn't take care of it. Hey, don't let that discourage you. Reseed. God's got an endless amount of seeds. Reseed that thing. Start over. Plow it up. My grandpa, how many times he plowed the garden up this year? Just run over it. I mean, he was like, they don't look right. They're crooked. That's no big deal. Just start over, So don't get discouraged with that. Just reseed and don't give up on what you've planted. Be disciplined. Be dedicated to the plan that God has for your life. And speaking of plans, one of the greatest plans, as the greatest plan that ever was in life, was a plan of salvation. And I don't know where you'd be today. I do know where you'd be today without salvation. You'd be lost. Yeah. And I would be lost. I don't know where I would be without salvation. But did you know salvation didn't just happen? God didn't go, you know what? That'd be a great idea. Let's try that, Jesus. Let's no, sir. From the beginning of time, from the beginning of the Bible, God had a plan.
Absolutely.
God had a plan. And the whole idea of salvation was planned out for you. And I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to whoever's listening. It's planned out for you. It was a free gift. So the idea of planting in your life, God did it. Why don't we?
Yeah.
Why don't we do it, I'm going to go back to Jeremiah 29. I should have saved it right there. I wanted to read it one more time before we close it out. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you. Before I finish it, just imagine God talking to you. This is God speaking, but He's talking to y'all. He's talking to me. He says, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and to give you a hope. The God of the universe just said He has plans to give you a future and a life full of hope. And that's not enough. You know what I mean? And it's sad to say sometimes it ain't. Sometimes we don't think it is.
Well, that's where you got to get up, and you got to realize where He says you need to get up and carry your cross, and you need to die to yourself. You need to lay your flesh to the side, because we can get so caught up in that we're sitting here wondering, well, where is this plan for this welfare? Where is this no disaster? He wants to give me a future of hope. He wants to give me all these. Where is it at? Yeah. He planted the seed inside of you, Tanner. He planted it in me and anybody else who listened. But that don't mean just because He's planted that seed, it's going to grow. I mean, you may have a garden, and you may plant that seed, and you may look at Clayton Carson and say, I planted this seed, but you're going to cultivate it. You're going to water it. You're going to take care of it. You're going to reap the benefits of this. But if you don't, that seed's not going to do anything. Yeah. It's going to come up about this tall. Weeds are going to come in. It's going to be taking them, and it's not going to do anything. He offers you these gifts. He offers you the gift of salvation, but are you going to choose it? Yeah. He offers you all of these things. And just because, and I'm a living example of it, just because you accept all of these things, that does not mean it's going to be roses, and it's going to be wonderful welfare of life and no disasters and a wonderful future, but there is still hope.
Yeah.
And sometimes you ought to be thankful that it's not what you wanted. It's not always good. It's not always prosperous. Sometimes that seed does die because maybe you planted that seed. Mm-hmm. Maybe He didn't plant that seed and you just believe He did. And he's like, look,
It's got to die so I can plant what I need.
That's got to be removed. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think on that same point, sometimes we have a false expectation of some things. I mean, how many times have we pulled up to the deer club when we was 7, 8, 9 years old, and we'd have 10 bags of ryegrass and 3 bags of triple 13 on red dirt? They're like, I don't know why it's turning yellow. You know what I mean? Oh my! I mean, we just think, we're doing something so good, and we're not doing everything that we're supposed to do as Christians, and we're not doing everything, and so that's a great point to say, hey. Are we doing what we're supposed to do, and we just expect God to just do it all? Yeah. God, you got plans for me. Then why is it not happening? Why am I not wealthy? Why am I not, as healthy as I can be? Why don't I have everything I need? Well, God didn't promise all of that. He just promised He'd take care of you. He promised
hope.
He promised hope. He didn't promise the riches of the world.
That's one thing I pray for. Like when I pray, I always say, Lord, thank you for your grace, for your mercy. The things that regardless if I go down today, if this podcast explodes, if the channel explodes, if my marriage falls apart, if my life falls apart, if I die today, I've still got His grace and I've still got His mercy. And that's enough to have hope.
I know. And we neglect that, and we just, most time we're not satisfied with that, are we?
Yeah.
And it really is. I'll finish right here. I'll finish up real quick. It says, with Jeremiah 29:11, I said, God's got a plan for each one of all of your futures. It says right here in Jeremiah 29:11 that God, He wants you to prepare. He wants you to prepare for your future. He wants me to have children and my children to have children. He don't want us to decrease. He wants us to increase. And He wants all this for us. He does not want us to be stagnant, unappealing water. And I just can't get that Mississippi mud hole out of my mind. Like, that's just... I
can see it.
Yes, it's there. And so He does not want us to be that way. He wants to be, He wants us to live a life for Christ that makes others thirsty.
Yeah.
Y'all seen that kind of water. And it's just
like we talk about that in Montana.
No, it's great.
Let's turn away from this and let's go to the living water. And the living water is in your hands.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Last thing I'm gonna leave y'all with is what kind of seeds are you gonna plant this fall? Yeah. So what you planting?
Think about that. We ain't talking about wheat.
I ain't caring about no brassica.
No brassicas. Oh me. Well, Tanner, I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking 30 minutes of your time to just be here with me, spend some time together, and share the word. And that was good stuff. I hope y'all got as much out of that as I did. I was kind of quiet, just sitting here taking it in myself. So,
well, a couple things I love to talk about. I love talking about Jesus. I love talking about hunting. I love talking about working. So, I mean, we did all that today.
Well, I love talking about Jesus, and I love talking about hunting. And we
almost there. Yeah, Tobey loves hunting. He never been much of a chicken farmer, but he's. Well,
I appreciate you.
Yep. Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Hit that.